that was so anticlimactic that it had me wishing that I just never picked this up. I really regret it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I read 9 books this month and I DNFed 1 book, which is The Stars Too Fondly. I talk about my reasons for doing this in my reading blog, which I have linked down below. The first book that I finished is The Pairing, which follows 2 bisexual exes who go on a food and wine tour in Europe, and they have a blast. But there is so much drama and the miscommunication trope is definitely overused in this one. I feel like one of the situations could have been resolved so much faster if they had both just sat down and had a conversation. And I know that this can apply to a lot of romance novels, but in this book in particular, the miscommunication keeps coming up over and over, and so it did feel like the ending dragged on a little. That said, the food and wine descriptions were fantastic. My mouth was watering while I listened to this audiobook. I also really appreciated the fact that Theo is all over the place with their career. They are struggling to figure out what they want to do and who they want to be and what that really means for themselves. And as someone in her late 20s, I really appreciated just seeing that on the page. Theo is also someone who is prone to self-sabotaging because they lack that self-confidence, and sometimes they are so capable, but they don't realize that and make the wrong decisions because of that lack of self-esteem. So it was really wonderful seeing that growth in their character in particular. And despite my criticisms, I thought the romance in this book had so many sparks flying. There was great chemistry between these characters, and so I couldn't help giving it 5 stars. The rest of the books that I read this month were actually discussed in the reading log that I've linked down below, but I'm also going to summarize them for you now. I read The Housemaid's Wedding, which is a short story in the Housemaid series. I love the series, but this book was a disappointing and unnecessary addition. I know that sounds harsh, but it was not up to par, and it showed. The wedding that is referred to in the title was incredibly boring, and the conflict was resolved in a way that was so anticlimactic that it had me wishing that I just never picked this up. Next, we read The Examiner. You know, I never thought I would be bored reading a mystery novel, but this book proved me wrong in the worst way possible. The story follows a group of students in an art master's program, and we have access to a bunch of files that contains their text messages with each other and the coursework they submitted, the essays they wrote, and we're trying to figure out exactly what happened because there has been a death on this course. Now, while that premise sounds super interesting, the plot itself was all over the place. It quickly devolved into chaos, and the ending didn't make any sense to me. There was just so much stuff that was happening with flimsy justifications. I was so frustrated for most of the book. If you want to read a book by this author, pick up the Alberton Angels book instead. This is not the one that you should try reading. Then I read A Dark and Drowning Tide. I saw the author mention in one of her newsletters recently that she got some hate for featuring a sapphic couple in this book, and it just made me really sad because book spaces are for everyone and we all deserve to have our voices heard and to feel seen. And so I do want to highlight that I think the romance in this is so beautiful and so wonderful. This is a gorgeous academic rivals to lovers story, and we have a cute little murder mystery as well as creatures from all kinds of folklore. I would say that hands down, this is one of the best books I've read all year, and you should read it too. Finally, I made my way through the Under the Mistletoe collection of short stories, and you know what? I really regret it. This was not good. This was pretty terrible, in fact. The only short story that I really enjoyed in this collection is Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. Cruel Winter with You has a sweet childhood friends to lovers romance, and it was interesting because there is an age gap between the characters. The love interest is the main character's best friend's younger brother, and so he's actually younger than her, which was nice to see. I don't think we see that a lot in romance, and of course because they're both adults it doesn't actually matter that much, but yeah, I was a little surprised to see it. And I think if you're looking for a cozy, heartwarming book to curl up with this holiday season, you don't need to look any further. This short story is even available in Kindle Unlimited, so if you have that, then go for it. So those are the 9 books that I read. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tell me what you've been reading lately and if there are any books that surprised you in a bad or a good way. I would love to hear your thoughts on the books I mentioned in this video. Please like, comment, and or subscribe to support this channel if you can. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much and have a good day.